Welcome to TacosTheGeeks.com. Justin here, back with more comic book reviews. Today we are going to be reviewing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus Street Fighter issue number 1. As always, I give you a brief synopsis, so here we go. When a prestigious martial arts tournament invites fighters to travel to Atlantic City and test their skills, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles jump at the chance to compete. But a big stage means big competition, and the world's famous Street Fighters have shown up in force to prove their mettle of their psycho-powered fighting forms. As if that's not enough of a challenge, there are rumors of competitors disappearing, and the identity of the contestants' benefactors is shrouded in mystery. I had so much fun reading this. This is first of all, this is a little bit of a late review. I have been reading this. It's just I haven't had the chance to really focus on the comic section. And we will get more comics and manga reviews on the website and channel. So we'll be getting back to that. But this was like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles has so many crossovers. I can't even. I mean, they have crossovers with DC. They have crossovers with G.I. Joe. Was it G.I. Joe? No, it was crossovers with Power Rangers and now Street Fighter. And it just, man, I tell you, these turtles, man, they all over the place, just crossing over. And their crossovers are so good. Like, I'm surprised that each crossover I've read from the turtles works and it gels very well. And Street Fighter is no different. How do you get these two to go against each other? Well, simple as the synopsis states, you put them in a tournament. And they had some dream matches here. You have Raph versus Gaio. You have Chung-Li versus Mikey, at least in this first issue. And what happens is that in the first matchup between Gaio and Raphael, the match is stopped by the ref's decision, and Raphael is not happy about that. And we all know, as Turtle fans, Raphael is a hothead. So Raph is pissed. So he's not happy with the outcome. So he demands a rematch and thinks that Gaio has kind of paid off the referee to give him the win. So I like that concept. But while this is going on, the secret shadowy figures who are kind of pulling the strings behind the scenes are plotting their next moves. And spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. I mean, I think if you know one of the top Street Fighter villains and a really good turtle villain who is a man of science, you will know who these two shadowy figures are that's pulling the strings of this tournament and trying to get data of the psycho power to see if the turtles have that same abilities as the Street Fighter characters that we know and love. So I'm really curious to see what's going to happen with this. It was a really good book. It does a really good premise of really setting things up of who the interactions are going to be with. So obviously we're going to have Ryu and Leo both being leaders and both being men who really love the martial arts, really gel well. You're going to have Chung-Li and Mikey. Mikey has a huge crush on Chung-Li in this first issue, which I thought was pretty cool, that to the fact that he actually throws the match, or he's not really fighting to the best of his abilities because he is so infatuated with Chung-Li. And then, of course, you have Donnie and Ken, which is a pairing that I didn't think was going to really gel well. I was like, how does that work? Like, Donnie's the nerd and Ken is just Ken is Ken. So it's very interesting to see. And you can see how Bison and Dr. Stockman are really going to start pulling the strings to really put they're already set in motion for these two to really go against each other and not be a team for what the bigger threat is. I really enjoyed this. This was a really good crossover issue number 1. I enjoyed the art style. I enjoyed the fighting, just the way they capture some of the actual moves. I thought was pretty good as well. And I like the pairing of the fighting because, I mean, think about it. Raph versus Gaio. That's a good matchup right there. Leo looks like he's going to be facing Ryo. That's also a hell of a match. Mikey versus Chung-Li was not something I would have thought of. I mean, they do have Jerica there too, which I thought was weird that they didn't include her to fight Chung-Li. But I thought it was pretty good. This is really entertaining. I'm really liking it. I'm looking for it, and I will be reviewing issue 2. So stay tuned for that. This is Justin from TacosandGeeks.com. What did you think of this crossover of TMNT and Street Fighter? Comment below. Let me know if you like what we do here. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Very important. If you're watching this on the tacosandgeeks.com, browse our website, check out our podcast, The Hour, that's on Spotify. It is returning in August. Check out our new interview with Stephen Roth. This is recorded before the SAG actors strike, so definitely check that out. And that is it. Later days. Thank you for all your support.